welcome back to my channel. So today I'm coming at you guys with a new Instagram food video. So I don't know about you guys, but when I hear the word summer, I think of like going outside and the sun, going to the fair and just being with friends. Where I live, going to the fair during the summertime is a really big thing. And at the fair, they have like rides and petting zoos and all that fun stuff. But the best part of all of that is the food. So if you guys don't know what this series is that I do on my channel, basically I take really delicious looking food on Instagram that I see like pictures of all the time, and I show you guys how to make it at home by yourself. So whenever I'm on Instagram and I'm scrolling through all the fair pictures, I always see all the delicious looking food, and I wanted to devote a whole episode of this series to just fair food because it looks amazing. If you guys have ever heard of a fair or been to a fair, you know that all the food is very unhealthy. So let me just disclaimer this video by letting you know if you're on a diet, do not make this food. I am currently trying to live a healthier lifestyle, so it was so hard to practice my self-control while making this food, but seriously you guys, it was so good. It was definitely worth running an extra mile at the gym, but it was so good, and I hope you guys enjoy this. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you guys like these videos, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We are so close to 2 million subscribers, which is insane, and I hope you guys like this, and let's get started.
Alright guys, so for recipe number 1, we're starting off with some deep fried Oreos. We're going to begin by taking some boxed cake mix. I'm using my favorite, which is funfetti, but feel free to use whatever flavor or type of cake that you'd like. And I'm just preparing the cake mix like the back of the box says by adding in my eggs, my vegetable oil, and my water, and then giving that a good whisk. After our batter is ready, it's time to move over to the stove, and I'm pouring in my vegetable oil into a nice pot and then putting that at medium-high heat and getting that nice and hot to fry our Oreos in. Next up, obviously, we need our Oreos. I'm just using plain Oreos here, but feel free to use any flavor that you'd like or the golden ones. I personally love the birthday cake ones, but use whatever you'd like, and you're just gonna drop them into your batter. And I just took a spoon, made sure they were well coated, and then right from the bowl is how I'm gonna fry them. I'm not gonna put them into like another plate or something. So as you can see, I'm just lowering them into the oil. Be very careful and make sure your oil is hot enough to fry them perfectly. So just go ahead and drop them in nice and carefully. Let them cook for about 2 minutes on each side, flip them over, and they are beautiful, puffy, golden brown, and delicious. Once they're done frying, go ahead and transfer them over to some paper towels so they can just drain a little bit of that oil, and then we will move on to the next step. So the last thing to do to these fried Oreos is just to top them with some powdered sugar. I'm using this cute little contraption thing that I have here, dusting them with the top, and then also adding on some sprinkles just to add some fun colors and making them adorable for the gram. So that is how you make some deep fried Oreos, you guys. These are delicious and perfect for the summertime. Moving on to recipe number 2, we have a pineapple garlic shrimp boat, which is the most delicious thing in the world. I'm starting by just taking my shrimp and I am peeling them and deveining them. I think I had about a pound of shrimp here, and it took me quite a while just to get them nice and clean, but once I did, I washed them off in some cold water and then dried them on some paper towels. And once my shrimp were nice and dry, I threw them into a bowl and started adding in the breading, or sort of like the flour mixture. So I added in 3 tablespoons of flour and gave them a good mix, and then for my seasonings, I used garlic salt, garlic powder, pepper, and Old Bay seasoning, a good amount of Old Bay. That's going to give it a really nice flavor. I also added in some water just to kind of create this batter texture, and then I also topped them off with some cayenne pepper to add a kick and some color. Now, besides the shrimp, the garlic is the most important part of this recipe, so I actually used an entire bulb of garlic. That's like 12 cloves or something insane, and I peeled them all and then chopped them up all pretty roughly, I will say. You don't want them too minced and too fine, but you do want them like pretty chunky enough where you can still taste them. And after my garlic was chopped, I also chopped up all of my little garnishes, so I have some parsley as well as some little lemon wedges and some pineapple to top off my little boat with when it's all done. Alright guys, so next up we are going to cook the shrimp. So I took a pan and I put that onto the stove with some vegetable oil, and I'm just shallow frying these, and shrimp cook really quickly, so it's only about a minute or 2 on each side. Flip them over and then drain them on some paper towels just like I did with the Oreos. And while my shrimp were cooling off, I moved on to frying up my garlic. So I threw in all my garlic into the oil and let that cook for a few minutes, and then once that was done, I just strained everything off until I was left with just the garlic, which I then threw into my shrimp bowl, added in some honey for some sweetness, some some chili oil for a little bit of a spice, some lemon zest and some lemon juice, and then a little bit more pepper, and I just mixed that all together. Now it is time to assemble. So I took my pineapple boat that I made by just kind of cutting a pineapple in half and then coring out the inside. I added in some white rice and then stacked in my little shrimps on top. I added on a little bit of parsley on top of my shrimp to add a nice garnish, followed up with a lemon wedge and some pineapple slices, and there you go. You have your own pineapple shrimp garlic boat, which looks amazing. It is delicious. Seriously, one of the best things I've ever made, you guys, and I highly recommend trying. And last but not least, you guys, we are making some hot Cheeto Elote, which is a really fun twist on a traditional popular snack. So we are going to begin by taking some corn, and I'm just taking the husks off of this and then putting them into some cold water and putting that onto the stove and boiling them for about 8 or 9 minutes. And once the corn is done, you can take them out and let them cool. Be very, very careful because as you can see, they are very hot. Now, in the meantime, we can work on the actual hot Cheeto part, which I'm just taking them and putting them into my food processor and just grinding them down until they become a really nice fine dust. And then we can move on to the cheese. I'm using some traditional cotija cheese as well as chopping up some cilantro. And then to actually assemble the corn, you're going to take some mayo, put it onto the corn, and then dust it with the hot Cheeto dust, which you want to press them in. Make sure they're nice and stuck onto the corn. This is going to add some really fun flavor. And again, this is just like a really fun twist to a traditional snack. Now all that's left to do is just top the corn with some crema. I'm just taking a fork and drizzling that on, and then I'm following up with some cotija cheese crumbles as well as some cilantro, and that is it. I think they are beautiful, they taste amazing, and they are going to look amazing on your Instagram feed.
So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're having a wonderful summer or whatever season it is where you live. If you guys make any of this food at home, please be sure to tag me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll be sure to like them and just interact with you guys. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!